What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, it's April 1st, y'all. It's April Fools, and I wish that this story that I'm about to cover was an April Fool's joke or prank. But if you live in California, it is very real. It is very unfortunate. And as this video states that I'm going to share with y'all today, it is heartbreaking because it is affecting everybody in this state, rich and poor, in a negative way. The minimum wage for fast food workers in the state of California has just been raised as of today to $20 an hour. Incredible. Unbelievable that someone would get paid $20 an hour to get my order wrong. Someone would be paid $20 an hour to serve cold French fries that have been sitting there for hours. Yeah, y'all. The SEIU, the unions in this state, has pushed for this and partnered up with their homie, this man, Gavin Newsom, the pirate of the Pacific, the governor of this state who's driving it into the ground. He signed this because the union wants to unionize fast food workers. And he's so buddied up with the unions that he signed it into law. We know the politics of this state. Supermajority of the Democrats, they can push through whatever they want. And when they got a pawn like this in the state house, he gonna sign it. Even gave a sweetheart cutout for bakeries so his homeboy over at Panera Bread wouldn't be subject to this new law. Craziness, y'all. We've seen the carnage and more is to come. The rich who own these franchises are saying, we're going to cut these jobs. We're going to raise our prices. The consumer is going to take a hit in this. It's going to affect everybody. Those who lose jobs, those who have to run businesses with less employees, everybody will be affected. Even the consumer who pulls up to the drive-thru and sees that dollar menu is no longer there. It's now a $5 menu. Yo, 4 for 4 is gone. It's now an 8 for 8. What are we going to do? Well, in my opinion, y'all, some of this fast food is not fit for human consumption, i.e. Taco Bell. Wouldn't feed it to a dog. But that's just me. I understand the convenience of fast food. But what used to be the convenience, number one, is fast. Number two, is cheap. So if you've been working all day and you got kids at home who are hungry, who are waiting for you, it's easy to pull into the drive-thru, grab a couple things for $20, go home and feed your kids, kick off your shoes and lay down and have a good night. Because you got to get up and do the same thing tomorrow. But in this instance, y'all, where minimum wage hits $20 an hour, and these business owners, these franchisees are saying it's going to impact the prices you see on the menu, well, it's going to impact consumers. Who can afford, with multiple kids, who can afford to pay $20 for a Happy Meal? You got 3 kids in the back seat. You gonna spend $60 on Happy Meals? Doesn't make sense. Y'all check out this video and I'll get you back on the back end.
Right now, joining us with an on-the-ground take on the new fast food minimum wage in California is Scott Roderick, a McDonald's franchisee in California. He owns and operates 18 restaurants in the northern part of the state. And Scott, why don't you just tell us what it's meant from your perspective?
Well, good morning, Becky. Thank you for having me. The day is now dawned upon us where countless operators in California face this $20 wage. It impacts 15,000 restaurants up and down the state of California. It's going to be the most serious challenge for entrepreneurs that do business on the franchising platform. The vast majority of these restaurants run by small business proprietors who do business on the franchising platform, and the vast majority being family-owned and operated just like my restaurants. I want to underscore the words family owned because franchisees are not large global corporations. The restaurant brands that we franchise might be national in name, but franchisees are local business operators. It's an important fact that somehow seems to get lost in the legislation that was crafted. And as you stated earlier regarding, it is absolutely the intended consequences. And for many, what makes this legislation unprecedented, let alone extraordinary, is that it only benefits employees who work in franchise restaurants. Whether you own one single donut shop or 10 donut shops in California, if you're part of a franchise brand with 60 or more locations, the new wage mandate is going to apply to you. And as you just stated, this is an extraordinary wage jump, 25% overnight. It's a serious concern for two reasons. First, it targets only fast food restaurants. And second, the sheer scale of the impact is just breathtaking. Historically, as you said about step-laddered approach, many cities have studied and put forth living wages with annual CPI bumps. Certainly the city that I opened my first McDonald's in, San Francisco, is one great example of that. They chose a fair living wage. They set an annual CPI cap, and it allows us to plan for that as small business owners. It's fair to the employees, and it's fair to people who create the jobs.
We've already heard that some pizza delivery stores, for instance, have laid off or gotten rid of 1,000 jobs or more ahead of this, that they're just not going to do that anymore. They'll use the Uber and Lyft apps to go ahead and have deliveries done that way. Uber and Lyft don't have to abide by that because their employees are not employees, they're contractors. You look at these workarounds that kind of happen with this. What are you doing in preparation? Are you going to lay people off, or are you going to find other ways to make up and make good for that 25% increase in wages?
Well, obviously, my team is focusing on every possible action to survive and maybe even thrive in the tumult that's going to start today. Obviously, one of the most critical levers that I can use as a business owner is price, but I certainly can't charge $20 for a Happy Meal. So I have got to be aggressive in seeking labor efficiencies to drive the top line. I've got to accelerate the digital channels even more. I've got to promote more off-premise delivery. Families are going to have to make very hard choices around capital X expenditures. For example, can I postpone updating a restaurant dining room? Can I put off investing in a new rooftop HVAC? And even the bigger question, should I open a new restaurant in California against these extraordinary legislative headwinds? The topic of the day seems to focus on the obvious move to cut labor or reduce staff size. But frankly, at least in my organization, that's the last thing I want to do. People in my company, and it's been this way for 30 years, are my greatest single asset. So the last thing I want to do is impact the folks that run my Golden Arches. But as you pointed out, even leading up to today, Pizza Hut and Round Table Pizza have laid off 1,500 drivers up and down the state. In an area that I do business in, Redding, California, at the end of January, 18 Subway sandwich shops, family owned, closed overnight. This is just a harbinger of things that will come. And I am going to do everything I possibly can to not only protect and defend my equity, but to grow my business so that I have jobs to provide the community.
Scott, I want to thank you for your perspective today. Scott Roderick, again, who owns 18 franchisees of McDonald's in California. We appreciate your time.
Well, there you have it, y'all, right from the horse's mouth. A franchisee right here in Northern California. He's telling you that he has to face these struggles. He knows other people who are facing these struggles. Don't know what to do, not sure what to do. Some things are going to be automated. Some of y'all going to walk into a fast food restaurant and you're not going to see any employees in there. They're going to be working. You're going to have 2 or 3 working in the back. But you're going to have to input your order into a kiosk. You're going to look over there at the fry section. You're going to see a robot over there cooking your fries, scooping them up, bagging them up. That's where we're headed. Because of mismanagement of this state, y'all. It's incredible that we are here now, and it has become a reality here on April 1st, 2024. I wish it was April Fool's, but it's not. We're witnessing the devolution of this state under the mismanagement of this man who somehow believes that he can be the president of the United States someday. That's hilarious. This state is terribly mismanaged. And we, the taxpayers, we, the citizens, are left to suffer this carnage. What do y'all think about this? Are you willing to pay $10 for a burger? Are you willing to pay $8 for some fries? Now, we know that the Golden Arches has won French fry awards for years for having the best fries. But are you willing to pay what they may be charging in the future for those fries? It's going to get very expensive to eat fast food. And I know it's very expensive to eat healthy, but I advocate for it. I push for it. I hope that you go to the grocery store, buy something healthy, prepare it at home, and just let these fast food joints go out of business. I'm not an advocate for the wealthy owners who would put these franchises in poor neighborhoods and exploit the poor who can't afford to go to grocery stores and eat healthy. I don't support that at all. But what are we going to do as a society? What are we going to do as a state? Seems like things are going to get worse and worse in this election year. Here we are. I wish it was April Fool's, but it's not. It's the reality of the situation. And dirt poor food. It's going to cost you a premium. Unhealthy food is going to cost you a premium. Food that might cause you detrimental health issues is going to cost you a premium. You're going to pay more to be unhealthy. That's what we're facing in this state. I hope you overcome. I hope you get around it. I hope you find a way to avoid these businesses at all costs. Let them close. Let them be boarded up. Find a way to eat healthy and survive. Y'all, let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'm curious about your opinion on this issue. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.